It is an election year in the United States of America, and I, for one, cannot wait for it to kick off. From a vastly overhyped pandemic to arguably a creeping third world war, a lot has gone on since the last election year, 2020, and indeed a lot has gone on the American electoral front even since I've been off the air. Now, while the final candidates for the Democratic and Republican parties have not officially been decided, it looks like Americans will be faced with a choice between Mr. 81 million votes himself, President Joe Biden, and the man, the myth, the legend, President Donald Trump. The Democrats seem to be ready to run old Sleepy Joe, despite the fact he's one 25th Amendment away from a nursing home. Unless, of course, they suddenly slip Michelle Obama into the nomination in a last-ditch attempt to save themselves from running a guy who said this the other day.
We'll teach Donald Trump a valuable lesson. Don't mess with the women in America unless you want to get the benefit.
I'm not quite sure what that meant, but it certainly doesn't sound very wholesome for the leader of the party that claims to be the one that women should vote for. On the flip side, Americans have Donald Trump, who, despite being subject to egregious attempts by the Democrats and their acolytes to wage political lawfare against him, continues to storm through the primaries, leaving the sole remaining Republican challenger, renowned neocon Nikki Haley, palely loitering in his wake. And yes, since I've been off air, we are now down to only 2 Republicans in the race for nominee, with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis having pulled out, as well as entrepreneur and all-around fabulous guy, Vivek Ramaswamy. Now, while it was heartening seeing Ron DeSantis endorse Trump, however grudgingly,
it's clear to me that a majority of Republican primary voters want to give Donald Trump another chance. They watch his presidency get stymied by relentless resistance, and they see Democrats using lawfare this day to attack him. Well, I've had disagreements with Donald Trump, such as on the coronavirus pandemic and his elevation of Anthony Fauci. Trump is superior to the current incumbent, Joe Biden. That is clear. I signed a pledge to support the Republican nominee, and I will honor that pledge.
It was what happened after Vivek endorsed Trump, just after the New Hampshire primary, that got MAGA excited.
Thank you. Wow, how was that? Pretty good, right? That was pretty good, and he's a fantastic guy, and he's really, he's got something that's very special because he started off with a Zippo, and he ended up very strong. He did a great job. I was actually surprised when he called because he was doing well, and it's an honor to have his endorsement. He's going to be working with us, and he'll be working with us for a long time.
Note the crowd chanting VP, VP, and Trump's glowing praise of Vivek and promise that he would be working with him in the future. Could this be a hint that Donald Trump's pick for vice president is none other than Vivek Ramaswamy? Gosh, I hope so. 2 astute businessmen bringing their differing generational and cultural experiences into the ring to defeat sleepy, creepy Joe, on top of their innate sense of mischief and fun. Talk about a dream team. And what of Nikki Haley? Well, during the time I was off the air, she busied herself by refusing to say that slavery was the cause of the American Civil War when asked the question.
I mean, I think it always comes down to the role of government and what the rights of the people are. And I will always stand by the fact that I think government was intended to secure the rights and freedoms of the people. It was never meant to be all things to all people. Government doesn't need to tell you how to live your life. They don't need to tell you what you can and can't do. They don't need to be a part of your life. They need to make sure that you have freedom. We need to have capitalism. We need to have economic freedom. We need to make sure that we do all things so that individuals have the liberties so that they can have freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom to do or be anything they want to be without government getting in the way. What do you want me to say about slavery?
I don't know who Nikki thought she was appeasing with that line of commentary, but needless to say, it didn't work.